What is going on, guys? Dane here. Welcome back to the MushLoven channel. Just want to say thank you for all you guys who subscribed up on the new channel and have been smashing the like button on these videos. It really helps the videos get some more traction, so if you guys can help out with that, be much appreciated. So in this video we're going to get into what happens during a trip and how does it affect me. For others it could affect them a bit different, but I'm going to get into how it affects me, what I go about doing during like an average trip, and give you guys kind of an idea of what happens during a trip, because there's people out there who've never really experienced it before and could be curious but don't really know what to expect. Also, I'd like to start off by saying I don't condone the usage of mushrooms. Mushrooms is not for everyone. I also don't condone going against the laws in your area. So do your own research. Mushrooms are going mainstream, but definitely do your own research and make sure you know what you're getting into. These videos I'm making are made for documentary and educational purposes. So with that out of the way, let's get right into this episode. So first off, what I need to know with mushrooms before getting into it is definitely what kind they are, like what strain they are. That's a very important thing, because after trying multiple different kinds over the last 6 months, there are different variations. Ones that can be stronger, ones that can be better for laugh trips, ones that may be better for introspective thoughts, and some that could be way more visual and just stronger. Because recently I did learn about the Mushroom Cup, which is held in California, I forget where, I think Oakland, as I believe it is decriminalized there or legalized. So in this Mushroom Cup, they tested and found there is a huge variety of different strengths between mushrooms. What they test for is psilocybin and psilocin. And if you want to know what those are, the psilocybin is the main ingredient in the mushroom, whereas when your body breaks down, it turns into the psilocin. Now, some mushrooms have psilocin in them already, so they kind of hit you harder at first and can be like straight into the trip kind of thing. Where psilocybin has to break down with your body and then it turns into psilocin. Now, mushrooms can have different variation of these, so it's really important to know what you're taking. Ones that are really known for like beginners would be like Golden Teachers, is probably one of the top ones I usually hear about. It's a pretty easy going strain. It can be a pretty easy going strain, and a lot of people say that's kind of better for beginners because they don't get like a super intense trip. But I would definitely want to know what you're getting, and then I would do research on that strain and figure out if it's a strong strain, is it a weak strain, because maybe you don't even know and you get like penis envy or albino penis envy. Now these are like some of the most strongest, or enigma. Enigma is one that looks like a brain almost. It's like a mutation one, and these can be super strong. So strong that you could do like a half of a regular dose and have a super intense trip, way more than like a regular dose. That has happened to me, and I'm very cautious with those strains, and I would definitely recommend you be as well. Now, I also want to make sure my set and setting is proper, like my mind's in. Am I doing good lately, mentally, physically? If you just went through something traumatic or something really stressful, you probably wouldn't want to jump right into a trip. You really want to be in a good mood and like ready for the experience. You don't want to do it forced. You don't want to be pressured into it. It's not something to do just because all your other friends are doing it kind of thing. It's something you do when you're feeling the time is right and the setting is right and your mood is right. And also, I want to be in the right setting. So I want to be in my chill house. I want to make sure my phone's pretty much on vibrate or just muted, because I don't want people messaging me, or I don't want pop-ups. I don't want to get messages from people. I don't want to, have something from the outside like distract me or make me think of something, that I don't want to be thinking about. I want to just be in the moment, enjoying the trip, and not being distracted. You would also want to make sure you're not having people just randomly show up at your place. That could be like friends who don't know what you're doing, or like maybe the mailman or something like that. And also you want to be doing it in like a chaotic area. Like you wouldn't want to be doing it and go walking around downtown in a city with a bunch of people around you. That's not a good setting. Same with like a party with a bunch of drunk people around you. Not really a good setting. You want calm and chill and a place that you can just like relax and not have to worry about outside people and stuff. Me and a lot of people also recommend going outside, but at first I would say just chill in your place. Also, if you are doing it in your place, you probably wouldn't want to be doing it if you had like roommates that don't know what you're doing, or you're living with family or something. This isn't really the smartest idea. You kind of want everyone on the same vibe around you, so it's not really good to like hide it from people and like have people around you that aren't on the same vibe as you, if you know what I mean. This is why I also recommend, if you're going to be going outside, you would probably want to be going outside in an area where you're not going to be seeing a bunch of random people and stuff. I personally really don't like it. Even at nighttime, we usually do our trips around nighttime so we can have the town to ourselves. But even then, there could be people walking around, and even then, I can get bad vibes and just like, oh, I just want to get away from these people. I don't want people with different energies around me and stuff. So personally, we go up to like more secretive kind of spots where there's not going to be anyone around. We can just chill in the grass and just look at nature and stuff. Also, maybe in your house, you may want to get stuff ready. You may want to have food ready for later on. You probably won't be hungry for like at least 3, 4, 5 hours. That's one thing mushrooms will do, is make you really not care about eating. I personally eat like 3 hours or so before, and then I don't eat anything after that and wait till your stomach kind of moves that through. Then once I take it, I probably don't even want to eat for like 5 hours or so. So it could be a good idea to have something like ready to go, maybe ready to pop in the oven when you are ready, or maybe a pre-made meal or something like that that you have in the fridge or something. Some people like to have snacks or fruit snacks set up for like later on in the trip. You may also want to set up like a playlist, music playlist, if you want to just chill to some music for the first bit. Maybe also get ready some movies or something you want to watch and know exactly where to find it and have like your internet set up. There was a time before when we weren't logged into an app on a certain thing we wanted to watch, and trying to do it while I was tripping was so hard. I was like solving a puzzle. I was just like, how do you do this? It's like, I know I can figure it out. And I spent like probably 45 minutes just trying to put in a password and like sign into something. Something so simple would normally take me a minute, but it just took a long time. So that can be a little annoying. You may want to set that stuff up beforehand. Now the settings out of the way, we talked about that. Now we'll talk about what I usually take or how much. So me, I'm pretty experienced, and it really depends on how strong the mushrooms I'm taking are. If it's like average strength, I'd probably do around like 2, maybe 2.5 is probably the most I'd take. And we're just talking about like a regular medium kind of style trip, nothing like super intense or anything. And then if I was doing something like really strong kind, like penis envy, I would probably only do like 1 gram to maybe 1.2 or something like that. Nothing too crazy, nothing just mind-blowing or whatever. I want to have like, you know, a chill trip or something like that. So the next step I would be doing is I would be weighing everything out and making exactly sure how much I'm taking. That's why you pretty much have to go spend like $15 or so on Amazon and get yourself a digital weigh scale. The proper ones that go to 1/10 of a gram, so you can know exactly how much you're taking, is you're not guesstimating, because that is not what you want to be doing. If you want to be a responsible adult trying this, that is pretty much what you need to do. You should not be eyeing this up, because they can be deceiving sometimes and look like they're a certain amount, but they could be much heavier than other ones. And I have seen this, and it's definitely very true. Where a handful could just weigh less compared to one that's just really dense and thick. You don't want to be just, oh, well, I think that's enough, and take it. That's not a good idea, and I do not recommend it. So once after I weigh it, and I know exactly how much I'm going to be taking, I put them in these. These are gel capsules. Got them at the health food store. They're made of gelatin, and they open up, and you can just put them inside. I pretty much just rip mine apart, rip them all apart, kind of small, and just try to shove them in there. The more I shove into ones, usually the better, because I don't really like taking too many. Now the reason why I do this, and why I don't do like other people do, which is eating straight, because I can just sometimes just puke it straight up, just projectile vomit and stuff. I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be putting on food, because you shouldn't be eating other stuff with it. I don't want to be tasting it. I don't want to be putting on a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Terrible idea. I do not recommend that. I've done that before, and it ruined peanut butter jelly sandwiches for about 8-9 years for me. Yeah, so I would probably never do that again. The gel capsules is definitely my favorite way. I've also tried the tea method a couple times before and had pretty good results, but I feel the gel capsules is just the better way to keep my stomach at ease. It is the easiest way on my stomach, I found, so that's what I like to stick with, and I feel it's just kind of easier to take. So right before I take them, I would want to set my intentions and like figure out what I'm doing the trip for. Am I doing it to help reboot my mind? Do I want to work on like some anxiety issues? Some people want to just let go and be put back into a more like childlike state, because that's kind of what happens. You get like so amazed by such tiny things around you. We're like, oh my goodness, look at that tree, look at that leaf, and you're just like, wow, life is amazing. Kind of like how children are when they like, oh, I can't believe this, look at that. Or some people will just set their intentions as they would just like the mushrooms to show them what they want to show them. I would want to meditate on it a little bit. Then I used to use some like nice tasty juice, like cranberry juice or something like that, something sweet and tart. For me, it helps like take away any flavor of it at all. And once I've taken it, it's usually about an hour of just chilling. I don't want to be watching anything crazy or anything like that. Maybe just put something nice and chill on. Maybe a nice nature documentary like some David Attenborough, or some people like some music going. And usually I don't feel too much, maybe a little bit of anxiety or something on the first hour. But then after the first hour, that's when you start kicking in a little bit, and then I start getting a little bit of anxiety, maybe a little bit, tiny bit of upset stomach, nothing like I've had before in the past, and just like a kind of feeling of like, here we go, like that kind of feeling, like you're just like, okay, let's take a chill and just relax. And now normally for us, if it was like summertime, that's when we'd probably head out at night and go for a nice little walk and go chill and go sit somewhere for like maybe an hour and just chat. And maybe if you're alone, maybe just go out and chill in like a more secluded area where you're not going to be seeing people. Maybe have a little music or just enjoy nature. This is really a nice and peaceful way to do it. And I found it really helps like ground you, so it doesn't like come at you too intensely. Or sometimes we just like to walk around and just check stuff out, and things just seem to get more like mystical and like kind of otherworldly or almost alien. Not alien, but like you're knowing you're seeing things a little bit different. And just like certain mundane things that you see all the time is like, wow, look at that house. Look at that car over there. Look at that tree. Or you could be just chilling inside, and like last trip where it's too cold to do that, I just put on some music. And when it started kicking in, I did like a meditative state where I just closed my eyes and just listened to some chill, calm music and just let my mind do its thing, kind of thing. Or you could also just start exploring your house and just checking stuff out. And because once it starts kicking in, you'll start seeing stuff kind of waving around maybe, or you'll see textures on the floor or textures on the wall kind of like waving and like warping a little bit. On somewhat more stronger trips, I'd be seeing like curtains waving and stuff, like there's a breeze in the room but there's no breeze. Or we would see pictures kind of just like morphing and kind of moving and stuff. Objects around you breathing in and out like they're organic and living almost. But yeah, I usually prefer being outside when this is all going on, because it kind of helps ground me and kind of keeps things a bit more chill. But you can only be outside and stay walking so much, so sometimes we come back in. So back to the time frame, once you take it, it's about an hour before they start kicking in. And then once they start kicking in, then you have another about hour and a half before you reach your peak. So you'll just keep going up and up and up. And it's good to know what time you're taking it, so you can kind of guesstimate where you are on the trip. I like to be able to look at the clock and be like, okay, I think I'm on my come up now, so I'm going to keep going a bit more and then I'll plateau. So after about 2.5 hours, that's when you hit your peak, and then you'll stay at about that level for about an hour and a half, and then you'll start slowly coming down. So the peak will be the most intense part of the trip. This is when your visuals would be the most intense, where you probably maybe not want to be doing too much. You might just want to just sit on the couch and chill and just look around you. Some people like to be a little active, maybe painting and stuff, or some people like to be meditating during this part. Some people like to just throw on movies the whole time and just watch movies or have something playing on TV. Sometimes I can do this, sometimes I can't. I just don't want to be looking at anything digital or whatever for part of the peak. Maybe at the tail end of the peak I'll maybe put a movie on or something like that. During the peak is usually when I keep it most chill and just try to go with the flow. You can't really fight it. You just embrace it, try to enjoy it as best you can. And then when this is happening, you can also be aware in the back of your mind that this will only last for about an hour and a half, and then it's going to start going down. And also I wanted to mention, during the peak, this is probably when you're going to have the most mind-blowing thoughts, things that'll just pop in there. This is usually where people start feeling the connection to the universe, and like some people could have like epiphanies, like, oh my goodness, like this is how the universe works and like we're all connected. That's usually when you'll start getting those kind of thoughts. Now around the tail end of the peak, maybe halfway of the peak, or around when you're getting close to the come down, which is called the afterglow. This is usually my favorite time with mushrooms, because it gives you a very euphoric, just like warm, loving feeling, and you're just like, oh my god, the universe is amazing. Like life is so amazing. It's like such a gift that we're alive experiencing this. This is also usually the time that I'll put on a movie or something. because then I can actually follow a movie and not just be like total mind mess and like, what's going on? I don't understand. This is usually when you can start following a movie and actually be able to enjoy it. Also the visuals will start coming down a bit. Like I said, during the peak, it's kind of hard to watch a TV when TV's kind of breathing and morphing and like faces are kind of warping and stuff. For me, this is usually the time that I just want to chill, relax. I usually like to smoke a little herb. Some people don't like to smoke during the trip. I actually use a desktop vaporizer, so I'm not actually smoking. But once this starts happening, then you'll know that the trip is coming down and you're going to be going back to baseline, going back to normal soon. So it kind of feels like you're out of the woods, you're out of the jungle, but not fully. You're still enjoying it, you're still like in the moment. And for me, it's like the tough parts out of the way, and now it's just time to enjoy and just relax and just think about the trip that just happened, and know that I'm going to be going back to normal soon, and being very grateful about it. Now normally around this time I wouldn't want to be outside. This is definitely when I want to be chilling in my living room, maybe putting on something funny or just like a mind-blowing movie. Other people don't want to watch movies at all. I'm personally one of those guys who like to watch something around the tail end of the trip. I personally absolutely love Avatar, the James Cameron Avatar. Absolutely mind-blowing. I've seen it probably 6 times on a trip. It's like my favorite trip movie. A lot of people say like, oh yeah, we all watched Avatar one and done, and you know, I was that way too. And then I watched it on mushrooms and whoa, complete mind blown. Or movies that like really make you think, like Interstellar or like 2001 Space Odyssey. For me, it's a great time to watch stuff like that. And probably like an hour in with the Afterglow, then I'm starting to probably get a little hungry, start snacking a little bit. If I have snacks ready, I start like munching on that a bit. Or if we have a meal ready, that's usually when I start cooking it. And then the next hour or two, that's just nice and chill, and then it just comes down to base, and then you're done. So for me, that's pretty much an average experience with an average strength trip. And usually around the end, that's when I want to like think about the trip and like be grateful what the mushroom showed me. And I like to like think back and recap the trip and just go over in my mind what happened. And I like to talk about with the person I did it with about what we saw and the feelings we had and the thoughts we had and stuff like that, and really recap. And then about 6 hours after the trip, back to baseline, back to normal, no visuals, and yeah, then it's usually time for bed. And for mushrooms, you really need to time it out because you can't really go to sleep after, you need at least 6 hours to be completely done your trip, maybe 7 hours if it's like lasting a little bit longer. But yeah, you do want to time it out. You wouldn't want to be taking it at like 12 o'clock at night and then you're not realizing you're going to be staying up till like 6 or 7 in the morning. So I time it properly, so I know usually when I want to go to bed, and then have a great sleep and wake up feeling like, wow, that was an amazing night. And usually have a really nice sleep and get a lot of sleep too, because I feel kind of zonked out after. And then the next day I sleep in and wake up feeling refreshed. You probably don't want to be doing anything the next day. You want to just be having a chill day. You wouldn't really want to be going to work. So yeah, something to do probably on like a Friday or Saturday. And that's pretty much it for me. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video, guys. So that's pretty much like an average experience for me with an average size trip. What some people would call a higher level 2 trip, or level 3, maybe lower to medium level 3. That's when you're getting like decent visuals, very glowing colors, everything looks mystical and it's got that magic look to it, kinda. Not really a profound trip, but also not a mild trip, which usually lasts me about 6 to 7 hours after I take it. But I hope you guys learned some things. I hope you like this video. If you guys are new here, make sure you definitely hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, it really helps. And leave a question or comment, and maybe we'll do some episodes where we answer some questions of you guys. So definitely put your questions and comments in the comment section down below. And I just want to say thank you all for watching, thank you all for supporting this channel and supporting us starting this new journey. But that's it for now, guys. Thank you all for watching. Till next time, peace out, and we'll catch you guys later.